Hello and welcome to my channel and to the fifth prompt in the 10 days of bits and pieces challenge. So the fifth prompt is tabs. Now I have used tabs in my journals, but I never thought about making them kind of as a stash item. So this is, I'm quite interested. Now some of the ideas I've got from a lady on YouTube, and I will link in her the video that I watched from her. And some are using some templates that I have. I have Janie's Originals. I'm just looking at my nails. I do apologise. I have been doing some gardening, and yeah, I still have a little bit of stuff that's not quite come out of my nails, but I do apologise. Anyway, so yes, so the ephemera template pack one from Janie's Originals has these page tabs. So we've got three slightly different versions of this. You see what I mean? And they fold in half that way. And then there's this one. But also I'm going to use the labels. There are these 4 labels, because then they might make some nice page tabs as well. So out of the template pack, I've got sort of 8 pieces. So that's 8 different types. Okay. Now the ones that I saw with the lady, they are bigger. They don't have to be bigger. So this is basically, I'll give you a quick demo with a piece of scrap piece of cartridge paper. Did I keep it the whole way? Let's try this in the piece. It's in the piece. Let's try that. It doesn't really matter, but just give you the idea. So basically, I have no idea about measurements. You can measurement. This is rather long, so I might cut this in half and show you 2 different ones. So basically, it's this piece of paper folded in half. Now, I have these very old corner rounders. So if you put the piece of paper in this way, they round your corner. But if you put the piece of paper in this way, they cut out like this. So she was using, I think, We Are Memory Keepers envelope board. So basically, I've got my folded piece, the folders there, put it in there to my corner rounder, like that, and then do the same at the other end, and like so. Now, I quite like these because the lady then decorates them, which is what I'm going to do later. So that's one. Where's the other bit for? But this one, so that those 2 I think were both done with the corner rounder. The smaller one I found it wasn't quite so effective, but also this one may be too small to put it in. In fact, what I would do, and what I thought as I did it before, would help to have a that's no good because that's got a split edge. You'd have a sort of a line on them to make sure that they're fairly even. So basically, if I put a mark there and a mark there, a mark there, and a mark there, so sort of like ½ inch, just so that when I put it in here, I can see my lines. So you see my lines there. I'm just trying to get those against the cutting bit, and then cut that out. And I would do the same on this side. Get my lines sort of like so. So now I did also find another lady who showed you some ideas of using a circle punch, but I don't have such a large circle punch. However, I will link her in my description below because she's got some good ideas too. I just can't show you them because I don't have that big a circle punch. So we're going to make some of those. Now, I have decided to make some page tabs out of these bits out of my, what I call my collage box when I have bits piece of paper. I've also got a piece of tea stain paper. We did tea bags earlier in the week, so I've got some tea stain paper as well. I've kept the paper's fairly thick. This is probably the thinnest one, but they're mostly heavier because I think, you know, when you're folding them and that, it's a little bit, yeah, you need to make sure that it's going to hold it. Now, if you have been following, oops, what's it? We did masterboard earlier, and these are the sort of colours I sort of got from my masterboard, and I've cut some tags. I cut some tags out at the time, but also I'm going to cut some more tags when we do tags, which is the next prompt, prompt 6. So we'll cut and decorate some tags. But I thought I'd like to keep a similar sort of colour palette. I know I did some quite jazzy collage papers in the last prompt, but I'm feeling this much more muted palette. So, like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a combination of the template. So with the template, all I'm going to do is draw around like so, draw around each one and cut out, and I'll probably do multiples on different types of paper, and then again I will cut some sizes. I'm not measuring them, I'm just going, you know, if you do A6 journals you might want them smaller, but I am liking these larger ones because you can add more to them, you know, and you know, maybe this size would be better because I can still decorate them. Maybe these are a bit too big, but I quite like this idea. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut out lots of these different bits and pieces, and I will come back to you when I have done that, and then we can look at decorating the tabs to see how what we can add to them, and what sort of little stash buster bits we can use on them. So I will be back. It'll be instantaneous pretty much for you. It will be probably quite a while for me because I feel like I might be cutting out quite a lot. I quite like this idea. So I will be back very shortly. Okay, so let me just talk you through what I've actually used, because I didn't do everything that I mentioned at the beginning. So I've got these ones, which were from the Janie's Original Ephemera template. Also these ones. These ones I am not going to decorate, which is why I did them in the pattern paper. I think they are fine as they are, and if I need to, I would add something when I actually add them to the page. So they're, let's put them in that little pot. So they're done. These and these were two of the labels from this ephemera pack. The third label I felt was too fiddly for cutting out for what I wanted for this. So I've got some of these, so they'll be like that will go if I get a piece of paper. So these will sit, so trust me to pick the same piece of paper as the extra tab. So these would sit like this, and you can have them out as far as you want. These ones which I showed you just now, these will, again, they fit out as far as you want. And you don't have to worry too much if they're not exactly cut like that, because you won't see either side. This is the other label. This is this big one. Okay. So that's from all those are from Janie's Originals Ephemera templates. I'll come to those in a minute. These are the ones I mentioned at the beginning. these I folded in half and used the larger of my corner punches, which has this inverted bit there. That's those, and then these ones. Oops, sorry, I just dropped something on the floor. I don't know what that was. I used the circle punch to cut these. Okay, now I then. I think I must have. Did I get rid of the piece of paper? Okay, let me just grab a piece of paper to demonstrate something else that I know just as I was doing things, I just thought, oh, I wonder if that will work, and it did. So again, doesn't matter what sort of size piece of paper. Although that said, you do need to think about which of these you would use. I'll go for the large one. So literally I fold it in half and then I use the actual corner punch piece. Now you could just leave it at that. So this will be like that. What I've also done is I've punched the inner parts as well, so they are curved too. So this bit and this bit. So it's up to you. You can punch all 4 pieces, or 4 corners. You have it like that. It's up to you. So yeah, so I've got a few of those as well. So now, like I said, these little ones I'm not going to bother to decorate. I may not even bother with some of the others. I'm going to see how we go, but I've got a few bits and pieces out. I know we did tape earlier in the challenge, and I have got a couple of those pieces of that tape here that I might use, but it's quite wide. I've also got out all my really thin washi tapes. I have a tin of fabric scraps, which I can cut into a little bit of collage. There's also got my tassels in there, but I don't think I want those. This tin has, now I do call this fabric that's lace scraps because I have 2 other tins where I have one which has big rolls of the lace and I have another one which has bigger pieces than this. So I know some of you might look at this and go, well, that's not scrap. But to me, these are a bit more scrappy, and they're the ones I don't mind cutting into to get little bits out. And I tend to lean towards lace, probably a bit more than fabric, but even so. I also have my tin. See, I like tins. I have a punch one for vintage tins, but as you can see, modern tins do as well. This is a tin of die cuts. Now some of these may be too big, but I can always cut into them if I need to. I did a video not that long ago when I had no inspiration and I just got all my small dies out and loads of scrap card and see little bits like that, would fit on perfectly. So I've got those. I have also got these sticker rolls. We've got all sorts of bits on. I like those. They're kind of like what I suppose you call pet stickers. I have also got washi stickers. I've got loads of stickers. So it is really just going to be a case of having a go. Now, the other thing I am going to get out is just this small little bit of mat. It's a silica mat. It's from Jane's Originals, but it's not this small. I've cut mine down. And I'm just going to get my, oh, there's one. Where's the other one? Oh, there. I have 2 brushes. This one is, as you see, it says G Grand Espresso, GE Grand Espresso, and this one's Fred Burlap. I'm not necessarily going to get the inks out, but there's probably enough still on this to give it a little bit of colour. I might have to get them out. I'm not overly bothered about inking. I'm just not. Where have I got it the wrong way around? That's better. Let's see if there's more on the frayed burlap. I must have done this. Oh, yes, a bit more on the frayed burlap. I must have done this with before, because I tend to just leave these 2 are probably my go-to for inking, and I do tend to just leave them in with my other things. I will do the rest, but just for time now, I've got three. I know they look similar. They're all the same kind, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna start looking at how I might start adding stuff to this. This is quite nice. It's very white. It's very white. This one I start going, yeah, I don't know. These bits, you see, I would cut into, it doesn't bother me to cut into these. So, I don't know. What you don't want to do is to necessarily lose this tab kind of bit. What else have I got? Got some little, I think they used to be called card candy. What have we got here? A little watering can. That's quite cute. That's quite a bit too big though. What are you? I'll just take you off for a minute. I quite like that little bit of lace. And what other bit of fabric? I would say you don't want to be overloading. This is a nice thin fabric, and I am going to use my pinking shears. It helps it not to fray too much. So just going to cut a little bit of that. The lace. Let's see, I do want something I think that goes a bit longer. So, no, let's see. I don't know what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a bit of washi tape. This is I'm not going to show you all of this because this is how I end up prevaricating quite considerably. Or I think these little washi tapes are going to be my go-to for these. We're going to add a nice little edge on these. I am only doing one side. I'm not doing the other because that tends to be the bit you see. So let's put that and that. Like so. No, I'm not liking that. But it is. I've got some very. Oh, what about this bit of lace? No. Right. As you can see, my process is very, very, very slow, and it does take me. That's too chunky. It's too chunky. I'm wondering whether actually, having said I prefer lace, whether the lace I've got, that lace is going to be too chunky for these. Bear with me a moment, I'll be back to seconds. Okay, so this is my tin, what I call lace rolls. You see, they're much more, and these are finer. So I'm just looking to see whether any of these might. Well, the thing is with these, some of these are quite white. What else have you got? See, that might be a nice one because that's got a kind of orangey. Oh, where are you? Trouble is, now I know that they're rolls. What I don't want to be doing is pulling. Where are you? Oh, you're there. These ones. Oh, that's going to be a nice one, I think. These I got at a crafty stash sale. A lady was getting rid of loads of haberdashery, and I could not resist. So I think I'm just going to keep those ones out. They are the right sort of tone and not too big. So let's see. So I've got this. I think this one, quite like this one. A piece of lace along the side of that. Like I said, I'm going to show you one, and then I'm going to just oh, come on. Is it clogged already? It's not what I need. Let's see if I can get it unclogged. Oh, that was quite clogged. I could feel that. And I've just stuck the pin in me, so that's not great. Let's see, are we going to get some glue out? Yes. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down there. Ooh. There. Yeah, you see, I've drawn blood. It's okay. Oh, trying to put the thing on the wrong way. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry, my desk now looks like an explosion has gone off on it, but that is fairly normal when I'm doing this kind of thing. Oh, they've got a little butterfly. Oh, I like the little butterfly on there. But something needs something underneath it. Maybe a sticker. Let's see what stickers. I'm not fussed about. I said I'm not fussed about putting numbers on, although I do have some stickers that have numbers on. I'm not overly fussed about that. Just looking for some more stickers. Let's see. Some little ones. I do sometimes think, if I didn't have quite so much stuff, it might be a lot easier to find what I'm looking for than actually. Look in here. This one. Please, please. That over the top. It's hard to know sometimes. I think that's too big. I want something small. Or what have you got? Some small things. In fact, it's me saying no, I don't not bothered about numbers. Some lovely small little things in here. How about this? This. I know it's going to get really fiddly to try and get the backs off of some of this. Once I've done this one, then what I'll do is I'll just I won't video the rest of it because, like I say, this is one. You see how long this will take me to do one? It will take me a while. So, right, there we go. Let's put you. Yeah. I do want to think maybe. I'm just looking, see what I've got. What I could do. That one there. No, that. No, I don't like that. Do not like that there. Maybe have it there. With the butterfly, that looks better. Okay, so there is my first page tab. So it would sit like that in my journal. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and I may not do all of them. In fact, I know I won't do all of them because it would take me far too long and I would never finish and get back to you. But yeah, so you can see where I'm going and I will be back and I will show you. I think what I'll do is I'll do a few of each of the types and then we've got some made and some that are sort of waiting, and then I can do it when I have a particular project. Okay, I will see you on the other side. So I have decorated some, as you can see. So I will take pictures so that you can see them at the end. But I've used washi tape, I've used some stuff, I've fussy cut, I've used stickers, lace, fabric, some, just bits and pieces that I have in my stash. And so how many did I do? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 ready-made to go. And then I have a load more here ready for me to either just use as is or to decorate as and when I need them. So yeah, I really enjoyed that prompt. I'm also looking forward to the tags, the pockets and the envelopes, which are coming up. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will see you again roughly 3 days for the next prompt.